There's a lot of insects and bugs that you can catch with almost the same amount of ease as you can get the plants. And the amount of protein that's in them is fantastic. The World Food Organization recognises that as a species we're stripping the world of protein, and there's not going to be an awful lot left if we carry on eating cows, chickens and pigs at the rate we're doing. And we need to do something to solve that problem. And you've got the Far East, they're quite relaxed and quite easygoing about eating insects. Ants you can eat them live. They tend to fight back if they're quite big. Yeah. And as you bite into the abdomen, you know where they can bit, you get like this, almost like a sherbet, like a citrusy zing that as they absorb it, the acid that's in them sort of bursts. But it's the eggs that you normally go for. So you get a wood ant nest, kick it open and run, because they'll have you. But if you have like a tarpaulin sheet, or it can even be your coat, just on the floor near it, pile the nest into it and cover a corner of it over. And what the ants will do is, as they rescue the eggs, they'll carry it to the nearest cover, which is the corner of your coat or your sheet. So they'll harvest the meal for you. They'll take their eggs, and it's the eggs that you eat, a bit like roe or caviar. I can't give you live fresh animals to eat because it's against the law. They all have to be Food Standard Agency approved. So as a result, all the food that we get comes from Thailand, and it's all freeze dried. And these are mealworms, 60% protein, and you can eat these live. There's a bit of moisture in them as well, and it just tastes like ground flour when you eat them.
I mean, really, where would you find them realistically, like in a real world?
In a corner of a field where there's a load of grain.
Sounds alive.
Well, when you do that, they do look as though they're alive. So you've just got that sort of floury, grainy type thing. I could imagine them dried, grinding them and making like biscuits out of them. So with a worm, you simply chop it up, fry it in a pan or a container, a little bit of gravy powder, curry powder, and you make yourself basically mince. These turn into massive moths. You can pull the wings off and the legs off and eat the body. Not quite the worst thing I've ever eaten in my life. They've got this sort of interesting oily residue when you're finished eating them.
Sounds crunchy.
Got almost like a
I thought they were dried raisins.
cod liver oil.
Yeah, that's it. Dried raisins.
That's what you need to have in your head. That's the half the battle of this is, what have you got in your head? What do you think it is? What is it and what do you think it is?
At the end of the day, if it's a matter of living or dying, pork crackling.
It's not bad.
It's crunchy almonds.
Oh, disgusting little thing. Don't look too little. It's a little one.
Bottoms up.
No.
I can get the pork crackling.
You can see where you've got all these little holes in the bark, and that's where burrowing insects have drilled into there and laid their eggs in the safety of that, so for them to hatch, grow, eat, get bigger and come out and turn into whatever they are. So you know there's a food source there, so you literally pull back a section. As you roll any log out of the way in the woodland, you'll find worms and woodlice. Dead easy to find. You harvest them. You've got to keep them in a container and isolate them for sort of about 24 hours or so. What you're trying to do is purge them. Because what you don't want is woodlice that have been crawling all over foxgloves, digesting some of that, and then you're going to go and eat them. So you basically want to starve them so you've got nothing in their intestinal tract, so there's nothing there. So you blanch and boil them in hot water for about a minute to kill them off, and then I normally lightly fry mine in a bit of oil, and it tastes like crispy shrimp, and they are really, really nice.